Alright, what's going on YouTube? My name is Tyler Self, and in today's video I'm going to be going over my personal investing plan for 2022. Let's get right into the video. Of course, a freaking siren starts right when I start recording. That's classic. Before we get this kicked off, my name again is Tyler Self. I make videos here on YouTube with an aim to help you guys grow financially free and live the life that you want to live. And the way that we're going to talk about that today is through investing. Now, before I actually get started with my plan for the upcoming year, I think I'd like to kind of take a look back on the previous year and see sort of how my portfolios performed so that you can kind of get an understanding of how things were going this past previous year of 2021. And the way that I'm actually going to do that is by pulling up M1 Finance on my phone. That's the investment brokerage that I personally use. You can see that this is my phone right now. I'll go to the calculator app and I'll, just start typing. You can see me typing here. That's how you know. Okay, we'll go ahead and open up the M1 Finance app and we'll start taking a look at the performance of my portfolio over the past year. So the DRIP portfolio is my main investment portfolio. This is my individual account where I primarily do most of my investing. I would classify myself as more of an income investor. I really love high-paying, good fundamental dividend stocks. So that's the type of investor that I personally choose to be. Of course, everybody has their own investment style, and before I get any further, this is not by any means financial advice. This is simply just my opinions and reflecting on my past. So take everything I say with a grain of salt and ultimately do your own research, make your own decisions. But anyway, let's go ahead and check out the overall performance of the portfolio. So again, this is my passive income portfolio. You can see I'm actually down for the day. Down $6, but it's not really that big of a deal to me. You can see these are my different categories that I have. Currently, my worst performing is actually my restaurant category, which I have Texas Roadhouse and McDonald's. Let's go ahead and look at the year-to-date performance of this portfolio. You can see based on this year-long graph that I've been investing on and off since pretty much the beginning of September is when I really started investing again, and you can see I decided to put a pretty big chunk of money in, and I've been pretty consistent every single week putting money in after that. And overall, my year performance is I'm actually up almost 40%. I'm up 36%, which brings me capital gains of about $136. So I'm really, really happy with that. So much more than I would have made had it been just sitting in a savings account, collecting that 0.1% interest annually. I feel pretty satisfied with this. And obviously there's room for improvement. I'm learning every single day about investing and growing myself, so it is a work in progress, but ultimately I feel pretty satisfied with this so far. We'll go ahead and actually swipe to the left here and you can see all of the kind of metrics here. And you can see from this portfolio this year I've made about $12 in earned dividends, so not a huge amount. My total portfolio I think has almost a 2% yield. So again, my portfolio is based on more of a long-term kind of play. I'm not trying to just get rich quick. I'm really trying to play safe and become more of like a decade investor. I also have about 23 total stocks in this portfolio, and that's something that I'm going to be talking about a little bit later in the video. Is I actually plan for this upcoming year to really dive more into the portfolio itself and kind of guide you guys, bring you guys along with me as I go through my investments. Now let's go ahead and swap over to my second portfolio, which is actually a Roth IRA portfolio. So you can see I haven't really been investing in the Roth IRA as long as I would have liked to. I actually started back in October of this year, but you can see I started with $130 and I've slowly, week by week, month by month, worked my way up to about $1,500 now. And you can see the overall return is a little bit less than my individual account. I'm sitting at about 27%, still up $82, still making more money than if it were in a savings account. So I'm happy with that. I feel satisfied. I'm still beating the market by a brief amount. So let's go over really quickly the holdings inside of this portfolio. It's pretty basic. I have a huge allocation in VOO, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 fund. Again, that's doing the best out of all of these. The worst is actually the bonds. So surprisingly, the bonds are down 8%, which is pretty bad. And that's one of the things I'm going to be looking to do in the upcoming year. I'm not going to completely sell out of bonds. I'm going to have a little bit in my portfolio just in case the crap hits the fan. You can see the total dividends that I've earned on this portfolio is $6. So again, nothing super glamorous. I have 4 holdings with a very low expense ratio, and my dividend yield is almost 1.5%. So this is something that I feel really good about, and it's just good to have a retirement account if you don't have one already set up. Again, I've made a few videos already about retirement accounts, and if you'd like to see those, I'll leave a link right here or here, wherever the cards are on YouTube. Go ahead and check those out if you feel like it would be something that would benefit you. But yeah, that's basically the 2021 recap in terms of my investing. Like I said, I'm relatively new still to investing in the stock market, but I've been doing a lot of research. I've been reading a lot of books over the past year, and I feel like my knowledge base has been slowly progressing and increasing, and I really feel like going into this upcoming year, I have a clear vision of the type of investor that I want to be, and I'm pretty excited to kind of see that through. So now let's go over my actual investment plan for this upcoming year. So I spoke briefly about the Roth IRA, how it's mainly kind of my backup plan, and my primary goal for that portfolio is going to be to max it out at $6,000 a year. And the way that I plan to do that is by dollar cost averaging into the portfolio by investing weekly or bi-weekly into the portfolio as I see appropriate. And I'm going to be doing about $125 a week into that portfolio, which will then add up to $6,000 for the total year. Again, that's my personal strategy for investing in the Roth IRA. That's going to be my main goal, is to max that out. So over time, as I start making more money through my other business endeavors, I may be able to contribute more quickly into that. Now, the second thing that I'm really going to be doing, and this is something that I talked about a little bit briefly in this video already, is my individual account, the one that's almost at $3,000. That's like my drip dividends reinvested in the portfolio. That is my primary stock portfolio, which I'm trying to create dividend income with. So my plan for that portfolio is basically the same as my Roth IRA. I'm going to be dollar cost averaging on a weekly basis and investing about $125 every single week into that portfolio. But the main thing is I'm actually going to do monthly stock portfolio update videos. So every single month I'll be posting a video kind of giving a brief update and overview of all of my holdings and letting you guys kind of see the total performance of the portfolio, as well as any changes that I've done throughout the previous month. I think that that will provide a lot of value, not just for you guys, but for me as well, so that I can personally look back and see kind of where I've been, and as I've progressed as an investor and grow my knowledge base, I'll be able to really watch my investments grow over time. And I think it could be really interesting to do and post on YouTube. So stay tuned for that. It will be happening starting 2022. The last major thing, again, I already talked about, I'm going to be pretty much removing bonds from my stock market portfolio. Really, in my current position where I'm at, I'm 22 years old. My investment style right now is probably as aggressive as it's ever going to be in my entire life. So really, I don't really need bonds in my portfolio. They're good to have. They're a safe investment in terms of balancing out the stock market if it goes down or whatever. But in terms of my current investment methods and the position that I'm in just as a person, I don't really need to worry about having a whole lot of bonds in my portfolio, certainly not 10%. If anything, I might drop that down to anywhere from probably 2 to 5%, just so I have a little bit of it into bonds. And that's about it in terms of the stock market investing that I'm planning to do for the future of this next upcoming year. Now let's talk about a couple of other areas of investing that I'm going to be looking into in the future in this upcoming year of 2022. The first is a few different businesses that I want to do online to try to grow my income. The first and major one is going to be through YouTube, actually. I plan to create a lot more consistent content because over the course of this past year on YouTube, I've basically only made about 30 or 40 videos total. And I'm probably going to really start the consistent uploads around mid to late February because I'll actually be getting married towards the end of January. But in terms of uploads, I'm going to be trying to just kind of produce a lot of content and sort of schedule it out ahead of time so that, you know, I may have a specific day a week that I'll record a ton of videos and then edit them throughout the week, something like that, just so that I can remain as consistent as possible. I've had a couple months where I would upload like 5 or 6 times, and then I would have a couple months where I would upload only one video. And it's like, I just want to be better than that. I want to be more consistent for both you guys and myself. So that's number one. Also, one big thing I'm really considering is I've actually began to start making money from my YouTube channel through Google AdSense, which I think is super, super cool. And one thing I'm planning to do with that revenue that I've been making through my YouTube channel is I'm actually going to reinvest it into the channel by potentially outsourcing some of my work that goes into running the channel. I may outsource my editing. That'll probably be the first thing that I really start outsourcing. My plan is to probably hire an editor sometime in the next couple of months so that I can focus on creating content and not editing the content. And because editing is probably, for me, the biggest part of making a YouTube video, it really takes a lot of time to make the videos the way that I want to make them. And personally, I just feel like hiring an editor is really the next big step in terms of running my YouTube channel, because I have a lot of value that I feel like I can put out there for you guys, but it's just, I have limited time that I can make content, you know? I work full time, I have a fiance, soon to be wife, and family that I'm gonna be, you know, trying to spend time with, because I can't just get home from work at 5 and then create and edit a video for the next 4 hours and then spend like 20 minutes with my wife at the end of the day. That's not a very good, healthy work-life balance, in my opinion. So I feel like outsourcing would be pretty beneficial for me. But yeah, that's about it in terms of my business ventures for 2022. And in this upcoming year, the biggest thing that I really want to focus on investing in is actually myself. My plan, I really want to get more involved with reading, and I want to spend less time wasting time by playing video games or watching TV, Netflix. But anyway, you guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. That is my investing plan for this upcoming year. If you're still watching the video right now, I'd like to say a huge thank you for each of you who stuck around to this point. Go ahead and drop a comment below and tell me what your plan is for this upcoming year. Are you gonna be investing in the stock market? Do you have a business venture that you're gonna be investing into? Or is your investing gonna be more focused on within? Are you gonna be focusing on investing in yourself via personal development and growing yourself as a person? The better of a person you are, the better life you will build for yourself, and the more influential you will be to everybody around you in your life. You guys can do it. I believe in you. Thank you for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.